Now, staying with the worsening gang-related violence that continues to claim lives in the Western Cape, we're joined by former police commissioner in the province, that's Lennit Max. Mr. Max, good to have you on the program this evening. I want to begin with your experience on the ground. When you were police commissioner, what did you see as the root cause of gang violence, especially on the Cape Flats? And have things changed?
Yeah, the main problem is unemployment and youngsters who left school and they are not actually employable. And then they join the gangsters to make sure that they have a sort of income. So that is a serious problem, especially in your less affluent areas on the Cape Flats. And the gangs actually is infested in those particular areas.
But this week, very interesting calls were made for the SANDF to be deployed again. And these calls have intensified this week. When you were in office, were there moments when you believed the army was necessary in places like the Cape Flats, or is it always a last resort here? I mean, for instance, the Cape Flats Safety Forum and FACSA have called for military support after a series of fatal shootings in the region.
The army is not going to make a difference. I had the army several times. I used the army during my tenure of office as provincial commissioner for cordon and search operations, where they actually protect the outer circle of our precinct. And the police did the searching and arresting of people. The army, no, there's no solution. It was, I think, a couple of years back, the Premier of the Western Cape called for the army, and I sent him a message to say that the army is not going to solve the problem. What needs to be done is that there should be a joint, interactive, all government employment of government institutions to approach this problem, operational criminal in the criminal justice side as well as the social side of government, and then we have to look at the training of police officers. The police, I think, in the Western Cape, they try their best under the leadership of General Patekile, but with limited resources. So it's easy to criticize them for not being effective as you wish they to be. On the other hand, the city of Cape Town, they appealed to the president as well as Minister Kunu at the time for devolution of powers to assist. Now, I find it very difficult that the Minister Kunu signed a cooperation agreement with the city and other metros in the country as well. But, you know, a piece of paper without action and full contribution and a commitment to join forces is not going to assist us. That will only be political stances and some sort of political actions which to get some newspaper reports. The real issue here is there must not be competition between the law enforcement agencies. They have to work together. And the city at this point in time allocated 218 metro police officers to the anti-gang unit to assist them with this particular challenge, because they are totally under-resourced in terms of warm bodies as well as technology to assist them to do their job more effectively and smarter.
But Mr. Max, the current leadership says something completely different, saying that policing is under control in the province, but there are still weekly murders that we keep reporting on. Based on your experience and what you know about the Western Cape, what signals failure in a policing strategy, and what should leadership admit is not working at this time?
It is clear, you know, no one can say that crime is under control in the Western Cape. You know, with 70 people murdered on a daily basis, anyone who says that, you know, don't live in South Africa, and especially not in the Western Cape. We had this morning another shooting just outside the court in Etlon. The other day it was a shooting in front of the court in Mitchell's Plain. A clear indication that these gangsters is not afraid for law enforcement. They are not fearing consequences and jail time. The more serious the crime is, the higher they respect in the structures of the gangs. Yes, the police strategy alone is not going to solve this particular problem. You need a very strong and effective police and law enforcement leg. But on the other hand, you have to address also root causes of this particular phenomenon. Otherwise, we are not going to succeed. The city of Cape Town, there's a lot of criticism from political parties, and I can understand they have to say something to make themselves relevant about the budget of the city of Cape Town, allocation to law enforcement. But let me tell you, I was there since 2021 as a councillor, and I left in last year. And I must say, I serve on the portfolio committee of safety and security in the city of Cape Town. I must say, I'm totally impressed with the commitment to serve the people. They make use of every technology possible who can assist their law enforcement to be more effective. And there's a clear political and bureaucratic commitment to serve the people. So let me say the police, on the other hand, struggle with technology. You know, it's almost 2 years now that they struggle to get only the body cams, which the city already almost for 2 years have in operation. But let's see, the minister, the current minister, Kachalia, he stated that gangsterism must stop. So I think we must allow him an opportunity to address this, and I believe he will be next week in Cape Town, and most probably he will have the necessary briefings with communities as well as with the operational structure. And let's see what ideas does he have and vision for the Western Cape and the rest of the country.
Mr. Max, as we start winding down our conversation, you've said before that crime is not just about arrest, it's about intelligence as well. Is enough intelligence-driven policing in the province being done today to really dismantle gang networks and prevent retaliation cycles that we keep on seeing?
Yes, let me say, you know, intelligence places you as a commander in a position to be strategic with your approach. And as I earlier mentioned about the city's call for devolution, the city is also requesting, you know, the authority to gather intelligence. And in the Western Cape, the intelligence, I don't think is up to scratch. It's not aligned with the rest of the operational structures. And the city also asked for the authority and the powers to investigate cases. Now, I can't see once the help has been offered, assistance has been offered by a government institution, that the other one is refusing it. It is not about power, it's about the people. And I think the minister, the acting minister, and I think also I've got the idea that he might become the permanent appointee after this Madlanga Lana Commission. But let's see what is he coming up with. But I think he must consider this recommendation, this request of the city of Cape Town and the Western Cape, to see how best can we merge you know, forces to address the situation. But you know, the crime intelligence was for some time under the former president being used to spy among themselves in the structures, and they lost focus on their primary constitutional responsibility to prevent and to combat crime.
Yeah. The line there not the best, but as we close, when you led the SAPS in the province, let's speak about the biggest constraints, the political interference, lack of resources, and poor training thereof. Are there still these same challenges today in your view, and what will be done to change the situation around or turn it around?
Yes, let me say that I think the police commissioner in the Western Cape is in a very, favorite position, because I think the Western Cape MEC as well as the Premier is not really interfering in the line function. I must say that that is my objective, observation. On the other hand, is that intelligence is very essential for any institution to be successful. In this regard, I think that they have to step up, and what the Western Cape is facing the provincial commissioner, I think he is, and that has also been proven by the Western Cape Community Safety Research, that they are, hugely understaffed in the Western Cape. And once you understaff, it is not the first time that the Western Cape has been understaffed. When I was provincial commissioner, when I took up position on the 1st of December 1999, I was already 40% understaffed in detectives and 35% in uniform. And during my tenure, when I addressed the gang activities in the Western Cape, they imported people from other provinces to the Western Cape to come and assist. And it was very costly. But that exercise needs to be done to multiply forces to address this particular phenomenon. Crime is very, very adverse. It has adverse effect on people's lives. And the trust in the police as a result of these gangsters who committed these heinous crimes is that it is very, very low. The trust in the police is at the moment, according to the Human Science Research Council, at a low of 22%. And as a result, the rich and middle class is hiring private security to assist them when there's a need. But the people in the less affluent areas, they are totally dependent on the South African Police Service. But you sit with the problem that sometimes the very people who complain about gangsterism, and I experienced it personally, and that is that once you raid those flats and those places where gangs are rife, then the very families, they attack you as a police officer of doing your job just to save them, to make their environment more safer. Then you get attacked by the very same people who cried and said their police are not effective. We know that the police are frequently in the news for corruption and poor service delivery. But we must also understand that for them, the police are the primary entry point to the criminal justice system. And government should prioritize this. And all eyes are on the acting minister to see how best can he mend the cooperation between metros, other law enforcement agencies, and even private security, who's at a strength of 608,000 compared to the police 180,000 currently in South Africa.
Lennit Max brings a wealth of experience, also a former Western Cape Police Commissioner as well, and former MEC, giving us his perspective on crime matters in the province.